Good morning. Now we are going to start that preparation of alkynes. So just you go through your book, take the page number 845. Alkynes nomenclature part is given that you can do by yourself. Structure of alkyne is given, so that also you can do by yourself. Isomerization in alkynes already you have studied. Now we take the preparation of alkynes. So first method, by dehydrohalonization of 1,2-dihalogens. First method, by dehydrohalonization of 1,2-dihalogens. So as the term is given, dehydrohalonization, removal of HX molecule, and it is given that halide is present on first and second carbon. So this C, X, then H. As you know, it is treated with alcoholic KOH. KOH you will use, that is alcoholic, not the alcohols. So when it is heated, this HX is removed from here and then one HX is removed from here, and this will form this carbon-carbon triple bond and HX and KOH. Acid and base react to form 2KX plus 2S2. So this is the general one. You can take at the place of R, suppose that if we take here bromine and here also bromine, hydrogen. It is treated with KOH, alcoholic, then HBr is removed, and this will form C triple bond C and 2KBr plus 2S2. So from this reaction HBr is removed. That's why this is the example of dehydrohalonization. Then if you take 3 carbon atoms, suppose that this bromine, here bromine, here CS3, it is treated with alcoholic KOH. So when it is treated with alcoholic KOH, that HBr is removed, here also HBr is removed. So this will form CS3, C triple bond CH, and this 2KBr plus 2S2. So by this way you are getting the ethyne and propyne. Now the question is that this dehydrohalonization can be carried out with sodamide also. At the place of alcoholic KOH, you can use sodamide. So let us see with sodamide how you can write the reaction. So dehydrohalonization can be carried out with sodamide. What is sodamide? Sodamide, just you see this NaNH2. This compound is called sodamide. So this alkyl halide, 1,2-dihalides treated with sodamide. So this just you see HBr is removed, and this will form CS3, C triple bond CH. Now 2 HBr and 2 sodamide, this will form 2 NaBr plus 2 NH3. So by this way you can get propyne. So now the question is that dehydrohalonization dihydrohalogenation can be carried out by alcoholic KOH or sodamide. Sodamide is NaNH2. So both can be used for dehydrohalogenation. So this is the first method. Now the second method is there by dehydrohalogenation of 1,1-dihalides. So here we have seen 1,2-dihalide. We can take 1,1-dihalide. So let us see. What do we mean by 1,1-dihalide? 1,1-dihalide means that halogen atoms are present on the same carbon atom. So just you see this CH3, C, 1 bromine, 1 bromine, then H. You can meet with KOH. Here also it is up to you. You can use either alcoholic KOH or sodamide. So this HBr is removed. Here also HBr is removed. So that you take the 2 KOH. So this will form CH3, C triple bond CH. Now 2 KBr plus 2S2. So by this way you can get the propyne. So this is the dehydrogenation of 4,1-dihalides. Now next one is by the dehalogenation of tetrahalides. By dehalogenation of tetrahalides. By dehalogenation of tetrahalides. Next method is by dehalogenation of tetrahalides. By dehalogenation of tetrahalides. Means 4 halides are there. So with zinc and alcohol you can remove it. So just to see, this 4 halides are there, bromine atoms are there. These 4 bromine atoms are there. It is treated with zinc and C2H5OH. So what will happen? One zinc will take 2 bromine from here and one zinc will take 2 bromine from here. So this will form that C triple bond C, then 2 Zn. We are bromine valence is 1 and zinc is 2. So that's why Zn we are. At the place of this compound, if you take this bromine, 4 bromine atoms are there, heated with zinc, ethanol. So this will form propyne. So just to see, this reaction is called dehalogenation because halogen atoms are removed. So that's why this reaction is called dehalogenation. Now next method is from acetylene. From acetylene, how we can prepare alkynes? So from acetylene, you can prepare higher alkynes. So from acetylene, next method, from acetylene. So when sodium acetylide, or sodium alkylamide, sodium acetylide or sodium alkylamide reacts with alkyl halide, reacts with alkyl acetylide is there. This is sodium acetylide. Reacts with alkyl halide. This XR. So this will form HC triple bond C R plus NaH. So here you can take this triple bond C, sodium acetylide. It can react with ethyl bromide. So this higher alkane you will get. It is up to you. As many number of carbon atoms you want, you can increase it. So this, by this method, you can increase the number of carbon atoms. So from acetylene, you are getting the butane. And if you want, you can take the sodium alkanide also. This sodium alkanide is there. Sodium alkanide reacts with alkyl halide. So this way you can get it. RC triple bond C R dash plus NaH. Now the question is that how can you get sodium acetylide? It is very easy. You can react acetylene with sodamide or sodium and liquid ammonia. You can get the sodium acetylide. So this acetylene react with sodamide NaNH2. You can get sodium acetylide. So this will form HC triple bond Cn and NH3. So by this way you can get sodium acetylide. So if the conversion is asked that convert, this reaction can be used to increase the number of carbon atoms. So if the question is asked to you, convert ethyl to 1-butane, so this reaction can be used. So just to see, one question is there that convert ethyl to 1-butane. Convert ethyl to 1-butane. So how to convert ethyl to 1-butane? This one is ethyl only. React with sodamide NaNH2. This will form SC triple bond C Na plus NH3. Now this sodium acetylide, and sodium acetylide you can react with ethyl bromide. So this ethyl bromide is there. So by this way you can get that HC triple bond C and C2H5 plus NaBr. So this one is butane 1. So by this way you can increase the number of carbon atoms. So this one reaction is important. It can be used to increase the number of carbon atoms. Now next one is pole-based electrolytic method. So this pole-based is studied in first two, alkane and alkene, and now this is the last one for alkynes. So by the pole-based electrolytic method, we can get ethyl and anode. So by pole-based electrolytic method. By pole-based electrolytic method, we can get ethyl and anode. So this one is potassium bilicate. This one is potassium bilicate. When electrolysis is carried out, that will break into bilicate ion and potassium ion. At anode, this bilicate ion that will move towards anode, lose the electron, form bilicate radical that is unstable, and this 98 free radical that will break into unstable is there, releases the CO2 and you will get acetylene and anode. And at cathode this K plus and water molecule both will move, but since water molecules are having more reduction potential, so these water molecules take the electron and get reduced and form hydrogen gas. So by this way you can get the hydrogen gas at cathode. Now last method from calcium carbide. Last method from calcium carbide. In class 10 you studied. So from calcium carbide you can prepare ethyl. So from calcium carbide. So from calcium carbide, this calcium carbide when react with water, this will form calcium hydroxide and acetylene gas. So by this way you can get the acetylene gas. Now next one is physical properties. Just to please underline in your book. You are familiar. Just to see the physical state. The first three members, ethyl, propyne and 1 butane are gases at room temperature. 2 butane and higher members up to 11 are liquids, whereas those having more than 11 carbon atoms are solid. Now melting and boiling points. The melting and boiling points of alkynes are slightly higher than those of corresponding alkenes and alkanes. Correction is there in the book. Alkenes and alkanes. This is because alkynes possess greater polarity as compared to alkene and alkanes. Moreover, alkynes have linear structure. Their molecules can pack more closely as compared to those of alkenes and alkanes. So their melting and boiling points are higher than alkanes and alkenes because they are packed well and they have the more polarity compared to alkane and alkene. Now the next paragraph. The melting and boiling points of alkynes increase regularly with increase in molecular mass. You know that as the molecular mass increases, van der Waals force also increases. The branch chain alkynes possess lower melting points than the corresponding straight chain isomer. This also you know as the branching increases, surface area decreases. Solvency. Alkynes molecules are slightly polar, therefore they are slightly soluble in water. They are more soluble in non-polar or slightly polar solvents such as benzene, carbon tetrachloride. Density. Alkynes possess low density and are lighter than water. So next chemical properties we will study in next video. So here we are going to stop.